Alrighty everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a build for the Prismatic Hunter. This build is just something I've been wanting to test out for a while, so here it is. But if you have a build that you want to see featured in a future video, then leave it down in the comments below. But let's start out with our abilities. Starting out with our super Golden Gun. Now, we all know Golden Gun, but why are we using it? Well, our exotic legs have a unique interaction dependent upon our super. So that's why we're going to be using the Golden Gun. Next up, we're using Gambler's Dodge. Now this is going to give us a way of quickly getting back our melee when dodging near enemies. Give you a choice of jump and our melee combination blow. Now, getting kills with combination blow is going to give it a stacking damage bonus up to 3 times. And defeating a target will also fully refill your class ability energy and restore a small amount of health. Next up, Duskfield Grenade. Now, this is going to leave a big area of effect that will slow targets and eventually freeze them if they stay in there long enough. This is great for taking control of an area and also applying some darkness debuffs to targets. Now for our aspects, starting out with Winter's Shroud. Dodging slows nearby targets, and slowing targets briefly increases your class ability regeneration. There's not a whole lot going on here, but it's straight and to the point. Slowing targets is going to disorient them a little bit. They're not going to be able to shoot you as accurately. And on top of that, targets that you do slow is going to contribute towards your class ability regenerating if you can't get a melee off. Next up, we're going to be using Threaded Spectre. Activating your class ability leaves behind a decoy woven from strand matter that draws the attention of nearby combatants. After taking significant damage, or when combatants approach, the decoy detonates, dealing damage and releasing threadlings that seek out and attack nearby foes. So when an enemy sees a decoy up, they're going to attack the decoy instead of attacking you. That can help you get away from enemies, or it can help you attack enemies without them attacking you. You can also destroy the decoy yourself in order to release those threadlings. Now let's go over to our fragments, starting out with Facet of Hope. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. So this is great, as our class ability is something we need up constantly in order for this build to work. So by us having any sort of buff, it's going to regenerate more quickly. A buff like Radiant, which can be easily applied through our next fragment, Facet of Dawn. Powered melee hits against targets make you Radiant. Powered melee final blows make you and nearby allies Radiant. So with this one, technically we don't even need the kill in order to make us Radiant. We just have to hit the target. Now, Radiant is a buff that will give your weapons bonus damage and allow them to stun anti-barrier champions. However, it does take away -10 from our strength stat. Next up, we have Facet of Blessing. Melee final blows start health regeneration, while Transcendent, melee final blows start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. So this is just to add a little bit more to our melee. It's already going to give us health back on final blows, but now it's going to also start health regeneration. So there's a big healing factor going on there. Next up, Facet of Protection. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. While Transcendent, the effect is increased. So, as always, any sort of damage resistance is always going to be a great thing for us in our gameplay. And this also gives us a nice +10 to our strength stat. Next up, Facet of Devotion. Defeating targets afflicted with stasis or strand debuffs grants bonus light transcendence energy. So our Duskfield Grenade creates a slowing field that will slow and freeze targets, and our dodge, when done near opponents, will slow them. So defeating those targets is going to give us a little bit of light transcendence energy. It also gives us a +10 to our strength stat. Next up, Facet of Courage. Your Arc, Solar, and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted with darkness debuffs. So, similar to the last one, our Duskfield Grenade and our Dodge are going to slow targets. So our Light abilities are going to deal increased damage to targets that are slowed. And this also gives us a +10 to our Discipline stat. Now let's move over to our exotics, starting out with Wither Horde. Our intrinsic, Primeval's Torment, reads, projectiles fired by this weapon blight the target or nearby area on impact. The trait, Break the Bank, reads blighted targets take damage over time and blight the nearby area on death. And our Catalyst increases the handling and allows this weapon to gain auto-loading holster. So Wither Horde is always a great option for dealing with adds, but we're using it here because when we dodge, enemies are going to be fixated in the area because of the decoy and the slow. So you can leave behind an extra Wither Horde shot to further deal with the targets in the area. Similar to our next exotic that leaves a parting gift, the Bombardiers. Its trait, Parting Gift, reads dodging leaves behind an explosive that detonates after a short delay, damaging targets around it and creating a secondary effect based on your super's element, with Arc Blinding, Solar Scorching, Void Suppressing, Stasis Slowing, and Strand Severing. So this is why we wanted to use a Solar Super, as I believe Scorch to be the best explosive to leave behind. Blind and Suppression would prevent the targets from shooting altogether, Slow would freeze them, and Sever not being the strongest effect. So Scorch is the only one that can apply a damage over time effect. As for our seasonal mods, the only ones I'd recommend are Radiant Orbs to make us radiant upon picking up an Orb of Power, and Shield Crush, which while radiant will give our grenade a faster recharge rate and deal increased damage. These are the armor mods I'm running, so feel free to copy these, with the only one I'd really recommend being a Siphon mod to match your primary weapon. So essentially what's going on with this build is when you see a group of enemies, throw a Duskfield grenade in there to initially slow them and keep them in the area. Then run in there and dodge to apply more slow to them, leave a decoy, gain back your melee, and leave behind a bomb that will detonate scorching targets. Also upon leaving, you can leave behind an extra Witherhoard shot on the ground to continue to damage targets in the nearby radius. And then all you have to do to repeat the cycle is just get a powered melee final blow on a nearby target, and you can do the exact same thing all over again. So that's the build, but be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos to come in the future. And with all that out of the way, let's get right to the showcase. Alrighty, let's see what this build can do. Bound a Duskfield. Let's slow it. And explode it. Pause. Check this out. That. Kill them. Put that Spectre's there. Kill that Shank. Slowly kill you with my melee. There's the dodge back. So these are exploding units, so get in and get out. Alright. Slow these guys. You're dead. Look at all those damage numbers. Deal with this. Put one of those right there. Leave that. Leave that. Leave that. Alright, Decoy, let me give you a buddy. Check this out.
Hi, friends.
Look at that. 2 peas in a pod right there. Shoot, there's a lot of them. Look at that. They're all dead. Boom. Shot the leg, meleeed, bomb, boom. I know there's other people here, but I gotta feel like that was me. Alrighty, where you at? Ooh, that's a good group. There you are. Boom. Oh. Explosion must have killed you. Boom. Can I have 2? Oh, look at that. Let's get to it, shall we? Throw in a super, why not? So relax. Alright, that was the build, Parting Spectre. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay alrighty.